Hello YouTube. Now, I was recently asked a question how I deal with those tricky angles that are not 90 degrees or 45 degrees. If you want to cut your trim to suit those angles and you want to take that over to your miter saw, cut them by hand. Now, there's a couple of old school methods that I use if you haven't got the fancy digital protractors. Now, I'm using budget tools as usual. I'm just going to be using a T-bevel, sliding T-bevel, a ruler and a compass, and I'll show you these two methods. So we'll take this as an example. That is a trim that I'm going to be using. That's what I want to create the angle with. I'll just set an angle up for reference. That's not either 90 or 45. Let's just make an odd angle and just show you the basics of the T-bevel there. So let's make our angle as such. Now what I'm going to do is first of all transfer that angle that we've found. So we've found this angle on our project. We've adjusted the T-bevel to suit the angle. So now we need to transfer that to the piece of paper. So that is our angle where we want these two pieces of trim, an example trim, to meet up, create equal distance on either side. So now we're going to bisect that angle. Now the first method, I'll be using the compass. Now this is not the best of compasses, by the way, but it'll do for this example. So it doesn't matter on your distance, just keep them all equal. Mark either side. Then those two marks, what we need to do is position the compass, create another radius, another mark on that side, and again keep it accurate. Now where those two lines meet, we just need to transfer our measurement. And now that has given us the equal distance on either side for our angles. Now there is another method. If you haven't got the compass, you can simply use a rule, or if your trim is completely parallel on both sides, then you can use your trim. If you haven't got your ruler on site, so we just mark a parallel line on the outer angle and another one on the other side. Let's check that. Yep. And it's again where those two lines meet is your bisected angle. So that's how we bisect the angle. So what we need to do now is, using our T-bevel gauge, is transfer that angle, the measurements, to the trim and cut to suit. Now the next thing, we take our T-bevel and we'll just make sure that we've got the T-bevel on both the lines for the angle. We'll tighten that up. Just make sure, just take your time here with this, make sure that your angle, your lines are completely lined up. And tighten the T-bevel up. Now all we need to do there is transfer that angle to our timber and simply mark the angle. We'll just mark that. Now all we have to do now is cut that to suit, and that is our bisected angle. Now what we'll do in this instance, rather than cut it by hand, we'll take it through the miter saw. We'll cut the miter saw because we've got the miter saw, so we might as well use it. And I'll show you how we transfer those measurements that angle to the miter saw. Okay, so we're in the workshop now. I'm going to set the blade of the T-bevel on the fence. Now if you can see my laser, I'm not quite sure the camera will pick it up, but hopefully you can see the laser on top of the bevel. Tighten that up, and now we'll cut the timber for the miters. Now if we have a look for reference, you can see our mark is pretty much spot on with the laser, but we'll ignore those for now and we'll make a new cut. Now before we use the saw, I must stress on any of my videos, ear defenders, mask and safety goggles, full PPE at all times guys, don't take any chances with your health. Flick the other piece over. Okay, so now for the moment of truth. Let's just line our cut angle up with our existing marks on our paper. I think I am very happy with that. So guys, that is how you work those angles out using the traditional methods, either with the compass or the tape measure or your existing trim, as long as you're parallel. Well, I hope that video has been of help to you if you're generally new to DIY or you're just struggling with those angles. If you've liked the video and it's been helpful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Take care and I'll see you on the next video.